Hi everyone, it's Tawney. If you're new here, my name is Tawney. I film makeup videos, sometimes lifestyle vlogs, just trying to get myself out there, introduce myself, get you all to know me a little bit better, and just chit chat on the internet. If you're interested in something like that, or if you like this video, subscribe and ring that notification bell so you get notified of when I upload my videos. It's typically every 3 to 4 days, just depending on my schedule. I wanted to film this video while I actually had makeup on my face. My lips are I kind of sort of have something on them, but I went to dinner and then had popcorn afterward. So we're going to jump right into that. The first product I have is a foundation, and I hate to say this because when I first bought it, I really liked it. When I first bought it, I was a little on the fence about it because I wasn't sure if it was going to be for me. I wasn't sure if I really felt like it was going to be the right type of item for me, or if it was going to do for me what I wanted it to do. Because for me, I look for very full coverage products. I thought something was on the wall here, but there's not. But I really like full coverage products. I tend to get medium to full coverage products, at least in terms of foundation and stuff like that. So whenever this product first came out, I was like, I don't know if this is something that would be for me. Is it gonna look good on me? Is it gonna do what I need it to do? Is it gonna perform the way I'd like a foundation to perform? So I watched a couple videos and I saw a lot of people really liked it. They looked really good with it. So I was like, well, I'll pick it up. It's not too expensive. So it is the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream Color Correcting Full Coverage Natural Finish with collagen, peptides, and niacinamide. And it has a broad spectrum SPF of 30. So this is the product we are talking about. I initially really liked the product. I changed my mind about this because I've noticed I've worn this before several times and noticed that 8 hours in a normal time. I totally understand that foundations tend to break down and they don't always wear throughout the day, but this product vanished. I would notice in through here, I had nothing on my face. And I understand makeup doesn't always look good later in the day. This is my makeup from 8:30 a.m. and it's currently 9:30 p.m. And I would say it actually looks pretty good. Under my eyes looks a little rough because I was crying. But other than that, my makeup looks pretty good. It's covering well. I'm wearing the Wet n Wild Dewy foundation today. So I would say coverage wise, everything looks good. Everything's staying in place and lingering on my face. I want my makeup to look just as good 10 hours later as it does when I'm applying it. Some products look better later than they do when you're applying them, some vice versa. And I found that this product tended to look a little bit better as I was applying my makeup than it did later in the day, which is kind of unfortunate. I think I'm going to keep trying to use this just to see wear it if I only have a couple hours of doing something or needing to wear makeup or something. But for me, it's a product that I'm not really vibing with. I'm not really interested in it, and I kind of think it's a product that I feel really bad because it kind of turns me away from CC creams because I feel the way this performed doesn't make me want to try out any others. So that's how I feel about that product. The next one is super hyped up on TikTok, just like the e.l.f. one was, and it is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara. Now, this mascara is not terrible. I want to preface this by saying it's not a bad mascara. Here is the wand. It's very cone pointy at the end kind of a shape. So it's very voluminizing. You know, what we want in a mascara, at least if you don't want the curl, we want the volume and stuff. Well, I found that in order to get the results that are in the videos that they brag about and everyone raves about, I have to apply 3 coats. And I don't even like to apply more than 1 coat. So this kind of was not it for me. I found that I didn't really like the way my lashes looked after I even did the 3 coats. It was okay, but not great. I just feel like it was more effort than I wanted to put into a mascara when I know I have mascaras that work perfectly fine on their own without all this effort. So for me, this was one that kind of didn't really hit the mark. So it's one that I probably won't be repurchasing whenever I run out or it dries up or whatever. The next one is also a mascara. I'm just going to do them back to back. And I feel really bad because they're both from brands I like mascaras of, and I like the premise behind all of them, and they're the same color. It's the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. So this mascara, in theory, should be everything I want in a mascara. It has the hourglass shaped applicator. It has a thick-ish formula, not overly thick that it gets clumpy, but not too thin that it starts to like drip and like leave residue under your eyes. I just found that this mascara wasn't quite as good as some of my other mascaras. I found that the NYX On the Rise mascara was better. I found the Essence Lash Princess was better, which that one like blows everything out of the park. I just have to like throw that in there. And then also the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift. That one is really good as well. I just found that this one like wasn't as good as those, and I don't know if it was because it was so hyped up that I didn't really want to buy into the hype, that I was initially like had a little bit lower expectations of this product, or like higher expectations for it to work better than it did. I'm not quite sure what I'm like getting at here, but it just didn't perform the way I'd wanted it to and hoped it to. So, and I've heard other people say the same thing, that like after they've had it a while, it starts to like lose its like which I hate to say because I really want to support L'Oreal and a drugstore brand and a mascara that's supposed to do what I want it to do based on the like the wand and like what its claims are, but it just didn't do it for me. It wasn't it for me, and I never reach for this, so I don't know if I'm going to repurchase it if it goes bad, but yeah. So the last two products we have are eyeshadow palettes, and I'm going to do the least obvious one, or I guess the most obvious one first, and that's the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. So I used this palette a couple times. I've used it here and there and stuff. The first time I used it, I noticed that it wasn't great. Like, upon first application for this shadow right here that is called Dreamweaver, I had to dig the crap into this with my finger. Like, I always apply shimmers and stuff with my finger. Like, the point of this finger, this particular finger, I had to dig to get any kind of payoff to make it look decent. And it's a lovely shade. I really like the way it looks, the, like, tones underneath of it, and, like, the shift and whatever it has to it. But it just was, and, like, you can see in it, it's very clumpy and chunky and just, like, ew, like it just doesn't even look that great. I get that the Naked palette was initially meant to be a very basic palette. I still feel like this one very underperformed, and like it kind of didn't live up to the hype of the original Naked palette. This is one that I've been considering selling on my Poshmark because I haven't been interested in it. And I hate to say that because I was really excited to get it. And I got it on sale, by the way, for like half off on Ulta's website. So that kind of like saddens me because like the packaging looks really cute and posh. I don't like the foaminess of this. Like, that's not my thing. It's like very velvety. That's not for me. But like, it just wasn't that great. And like, it's kind of giving me a bad image of Urban Decay, considering this was like one of the first products from the brand I tried out. It doesn't really make me interested to try more of the brand, which is unfortunate because I really don't want to see the brand fail, especially when it's been so like influential to makeup for a long time now. And the last palette may be surprising. It is from Nabla, and it is the Side by Side Nude palette. Now, this palette isn't the worst palette I've used before. It has very nice colors. It has a really interesting color story. There's a blue down here. I think this black might even be tinted a smidge blue. Okay, no. I was just looking at this and I'm like, that's a gray. That is not blue. But in these lights and from this angle, it looks blue, but it's a gray. And then you have a pink shadow up here and this very like goldy bronze shade. So I feel like there's a bunch of different ways you could take this palette. But for me, like, I kept using the same shadows because I couldn't figure out a direction to go with this. And not saying that that's, like, the palette's fault by any means. It's, like, just an issue with me. Like, I always go for the same type of looks. It's basically this look in every eyeshadow palette I use. And today I used the ColourPop Lyric Pressed Powder palette. It's one of their 5-pan palettes that's come out very recently. But this palette just, like, wasn't quite as much as I wanted it to be. Like, it's okay, but I just don't reach for it much anymore, and I'm kind of let down by it, and I hate to say that because it's such a beautiful palette, and I like supporting brands that are a little bit more under the radar and like more indie type brands, but this palette just wasn't quite it for me. Let me know what products you would talk about in the comment section, if there were any that like lived up to the hype that you had of them, or if they underperformed and didn't quite do what you expected them to. I'd love to see your ideas and your thoughts, and just keep a chat going in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video, and ring that notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload my videos. I hope you like this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye!